Welcome to Grace Life Academic Online Revision Center. I am your regular host, Tambe Emmanuel. Today, we shall be looking at a question in front of you. What methods were used by the Germans to consolidate their rule in Cameroon? What methods were used by the Germans to consolidate their rule in Cameroon? This question carries 7 marks, meaning you have to provide 7 solid points to make the marks. And this question came in 2015 Cameroon Ordinary Level GCE History. And so we are going to provide answers for this question today. Now, to begin with, what is consolidation? Consolidation here means the need to strengthen your grip over something. They need to make an environment comfortable for you to live in. And so the Germans, after annexing Cameroon, had to make Cameroon comfortable for them to stay in. They had to strengthen their grip over Cameroon. Good. Method used by the Germans to consolidate their rule. One, the German explorers penetrated into the interior of Cameroon to discover places and to, conquer interior tribes, among other reasons. The next thing the Germans did was to negotiate with the British and occupy Victoria in 1887. It is important for you to take note that when Cameroon was annexed by the Germans in 1884, Victoria was not involved because Victoria was considered a British property, a British territory, until negotiations at the Berlin West African Conference that the British now accepted the Germans to occupy Victoria, but not without a price. The British had to collect a particular sum of money from the Germans before they could allow the Germans to occupy Victoria. So the occupation, negotiation and occupation of Victoria was one of the methods used by the Germans to consolidate their rule in Cameroon. The third agenda or the third method used by the Germans to occupy Cameroon, to consolidate their rule, to make themselves comfortable in Cameroon, was to replace the code of equity that was created by the British with the Cameroon Council. This activity was carried out by Dr. Max Buchner, who was the temporal administrator of Cameroon after annexation. The fourth thing the Germans did in order to consolidate their rule was that the Germans hoisted their flag everywhere in Cameroon to indicate that Cameroon has become a German territory. And therefore, they were confident that with the hoisting of their flag, no other European power can venture into the territory. In line with the provisions of the Berlin Conference, which stated that for any territory to claim effective occupation, that territory must have a hoisted flag of the occupying territory, occupying power. Next, the German established administrative units, which were headed by German officials. The Germans suppressed anti-German resistances like the Douala resistance. Take note, not every Cameroonian opened their hands to welcome the Germans when the Germans came to annex Cameroon. We had tribes like the Hickory town, which is now called Bonaberi. They were not prepared to accept the Germans. The Doualas resisted against the Germans. The Bakweris resisted against the Germans. The Bulus, the Balis, and even the Banyans resisted against the Germans. In order for the Germans to be comfortable, they needed to fight and suppress this tribe. So therefore, one of the methods the Germans used to consolidate their rule in Cameroon was to suppress those opposition tribes that did not welcome German annexation. After that, the Germans moved up to constructing roads. The Germans constructed roads, bridges, and railways to link the coast to the interior so that their missionaries and their explorers can easily go into the interior and spread German civilization. After that, the German opened schools and brought in teachers from Germany to teach German language to the Cameroonian natives. And the first German teacher that came to Cameroon at the time was Christella. After opening of schools, the German established plantation agriculture. Of course, this initiative, this project, this scheme helped to create jobs and many Cameroonians became employed. Next, we are going to look at why the Germans suppressed resistance put up by the native. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow listeners, viewers, dear candidates, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Until we meet next time.